Welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Taylor and today we will be starting a holiday reading vlog. Technically I'm going from Tuesday to Sunday. I don't know, maybe I'll go to Tuesday to Monday. I don't know. I was going to try and do like a whole week, but work's been, busy with the holiday season and stuff, and I'm actually giving my 2 weeks notice in tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes out. But without further ado, remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you like all things books, and welcome to Bookmas Day 12. So since it's going to end up being more like 6 days instead of 7 days, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you about the other Christmas book that I've already read so far, and that is Cruel Winter with You by Ali Hazelwood. She did this as part of Amazon's little series of holiday romance novellas that they put out with a bunch of authors, the Under the Mistletoe series. This book was my first little novella taste of Ali Hazelwood, and I absolutely loved it. I gave it 5 stars. I mean, in terms of just like Christmas novellas, this could easily translate into Christmas holiday movie and it would have been amazing. Essentially, the plot of this little novella is this girl is going out of her way in the middle of a winter storm to go get this special pot for her dad for Christmas dinner. The only problem is that the guy at the house that she's going to get to is not her best friend, but her best friend's brother, who's been in love with her whole life, and they've had a little situation go down between them, and they get snowed in together, and things ensue from there. This had emotion, it had build-up, it had all the backstory we needed. So for me, it's about 70 or so pages, a little longer than your usual Christmas romp that you're looking for. But she was sweet, she was cute. Highly recommend if you're going to pick up one little quick holiday romance this year. Then on the list, any of the other Under the Mistletoe reads. I'm going to try and read Mistlefoe by Kimberly Lemming. This is the only Mead Mishaps series thing that I don't think I've read. And it's a holiday little novella. It's like 60 pages. And I'm excited to read that. Then I have My December Darling by Lauren Asher. She says novella. It's not a novella. It's 257 pages. But it is taking place in the Lakefront Billionaires world, so I'm excited to read that. Then I have The Nightmare Before Kissmas by Sarah Raish. This one I definitely want to read because the plot is so intriguing to me, and I'll go through that if I decide to pick it up. Then I have one that might make it in this video or might not. We'll see. Love in a Winter Wonderland. This is a YA Christmas novella, and surprisingly enough, even though I love YA, I tend to prefer adult Christmas novels. So we'll see. I'll update you as soon as I start reading. I do have one little bit of another book that I plan on finishing before the night's up. But I'm hoping to start Mistlefoe tonight. So I'll give you the little synopsis and review once I get to that. Alright, so it is about 10:45 at night on Tuesday, and I finished the first official read that we read for this video. Obviously, I already talked about Ali Hazelwood, but now we're going to talk about Kimberly Lemming and Mistlefoe. This is another 5-star holiday read. She just knows how to give fun, sexy, monster smut, silly little romp with some plot to go on to, just a little adventure to sprinkle in there. If you don't know what this one is about, this takes place in the Mead Mishaps series. I think it takes place just after book 1, that time I saved a demon. That time I got drunk and saved a demon. So it takes that. You should technically read that one, then I feel like you should read this little novella in between that one and book 2. And you are following Ruby, whose father stole some stuff from a fox demon and now has been a curse placed on him. So she rolls up to the fox demon and is like, I need you to take this curse. I'm trying to apologize. And he's like, I need you to pretend to be my mate so I can procure land rights, and sexy time ensues from there. 5-star, grand old time. I'm trying to decide whether I want to read another novella right now or if I want to start reading one of my longer books. Probably just to get them off my physical TBR, I should read one of the longer books. And I think I'm going to read The Nightmare Before Kissmas. So this one follows the Prince of Christmas and the Prince of Halloween. It is Nicholas and Hex, and they hook up one night. But then they are both betrothed to the Easter Princess because their parents need to secure a good match for them. So they're competing for Easter Princess when they both just want to be with each other. It just sounds like a grand old time. I'm hoping it's funny, silly, goofy, because that's what I want out of a Christmas romance. But I will be reading this on my Kindle because it is on Kindle Unlimited, and I'm just in an e-reading mood. But she sounds good. Let me see how long. Oh, she's 356 pages, so not the longest book possible, but I'm hoping it gives me Hallmark cheesy vibes, Netflix holiday movie sensation situation, a little single all the way, queer time. So I guess we'll find out. I also don't know if it's dual POV. I mean, surely it would be. I also don't know if it's spicy. I assume so, since it starts out with, a one-night stand. At least that's what it tells us on the back. I'll get you updated in the morning. Hopefully I can get a lot of reading done in the next 2 hours. But tomorrow's a long day at work, so I don't know how much reading I will accomplish tomorrow night. So I need to get a decent chunk in. Alright, so I did read a very little bit, probably 15 pages of The Nightmare Before Kissmas last night, before my body and the early morning work shift that I did caught up to me, and I decided to go to sleep. And I could tell that it was time for me to go to sleep because the first few pages of this were reading slurs to me, slurred words, and I'm not comprehending too much right now. But from what I gather so far, we've gotten to meet Cole, who just did a big fuck up at his family or his friend's birthday party, and now he's licking his wounds with a bunch of alcohol, and we find out that he and, Santa, King of Christmas, whatever you want to call him, are at odds with each other right now. So he says, fine, I'll be back home to fix what I did, because he knows he messed up, but he realizes he had good intentions, but he has yet to figure out how to articulate his feelings and things to everyone. So he runs out the back of the bar, and we're just about to see, I guess, the meet cute, as much as a meet cute can be, in the back alley of a bar between what I assume is a bartender and someone who's, massively drunk can be. So that's where I am so far. I can definitely tell this is about to take a very, very comedic take on things. Also, we've heard of Iris and Lily, the princesses of Easter, which I know one of them is about to be, one of them is going to be, the princess that they're supposed to be betrothed to, even though I also found out that his brother is, massively in love with one of the Easter princesses, so this ought to be a hot mess express. I am off the next 2 days. I'm getting my hair done tomorrow. We'll get to see the debut of the new Red soon. So I'm excited. I probably won't read too much tonight, if anything, because I'm working a 9.5-hour shift, but I am putting in my 2 weeks notice today. So that ought to go fantastic for me. And hopefully this book will be enough. I can't tell from the first 15 pages what my feelings are in terms of rating, so I'll have to wait till we're at the halfway mark to see how it goes. But I also found out that Merry Inkmas by Talia Hibbert is on Kindle Unlimited right now, and I'm going to eat up anything Talia Hibbert gives me, so we might also read that one after this. I will see y'all in the next clip, which might also be the next day. We'll determine how tired I am tonight. Alright, so it is Friday, hair appointment day. Did not read 1 ounce yesterday. Could I have read? Maybe. But after working a 9.5-hour shift, all I wanted to do was sit in my bed, rot, and listen to music for 3 hours. I listened long enough that my headphones died, so that was that. But I have my Kindle with me, ready to strap in while I get my hair done. I do tend to talk a lot when I get my hair done, but we are currently still reading The Nightmare Before Kissmas. And hopefully I will finish this either today or tomorrow morning so I can hop into Talia Hibbert's Merry Inkmas. First off, new hair unlock. The red is back with some slightly lighter front pieces, money pieces going on. You'll probably be able to see it better in daylight when it's not nighttime. But at the hair salon, I got 3 chapters in and I just made it to 25% in this book, and let's just say some lore was dropped. So for those first 3 chapters, we had met, the two had the chance encounter, but he did not, our little prince of Christmas, Cole, didn't realize who he was kissing in that back alleyway while he was drunk, because he doesn't interact with or really know much about the people of Halloween. So Hex just rolls up, knowing full well who Cole was this entire time at this little ball where he and Cole are supposed to be competing for the same girly. And Cole's like, what the heck are you doing here? And he's like, and Hex is like, you didn't know the entire time? And then lots of lore is dropped. Also, side note, chaotic bisexual that Cole is, we love you. I also have to put in there's a line in here about how Cole realized his sexuality after watching Loki, aka Tom Hiddleston, in the Marvel movies, and how his brother and sister were like, how could you be like that when literally Chris Hemsworth exists? And I'm like, first off, have you seen Tom Hiddleston? I'm just saying, I'm a Loki girly. Maybe not first Avengers situation, but like later Loki? Yes. So far, this book, I think, is probably not going to be a 5-star read. It's definitely giving somewhere in the 4-star range, which granted, most books are in the 4-star range for me unless you somehow irritate me or frustrate me in some capacity, because I tend to be a fairly easy grader in that sense, rater, even though I'm getting a little more, tough on my rating. I think this book, like all books and most romance books in my opinions, could benefit from a dual POV. I want nothing more than after the chapter I read after Hex drops his little bombs that he does, to have Hex's POV, because I'm like, sir, I need to see what you were thinking the entire timeline. Like, Sarah, I need it. This whole single POV romance situation just rarely ever works out for me, because I'm almost like, every time I read single POV romances, I'm like, you know what? The miscommunication is made even worse by the fact that you're only getting one POV. It's easier to understand when you have two people explaining the reasoning, but then when you just have one person inventing stories in their head like most people do, you're just like, you know what? You can see it easily for what it is. It's just like a lot of like self-sabotaging going on. But yeah, right now it's been cutesy, it's been funny. She's probably going to be somewhere in that, closer to 4.25 star range unless more shenanigans ensue. But I just need to know Hex. Like, Hex, sir, what did you think this entire time? And also, I can very easily tell you're a little flustered, but Cole out here is misinterpreting these situations. So, we'll see. I am 75% of the way through The Nightmare Before Kissmas, and this is going to be a little bit of a quick update. So far, this book was way more depressing and introspective than I thought. I will say, Mr. Cole, you do have some swoon-worthy thoughts and lines. There's some things in here that I would like to be said to me. But overall, I'm also interested in this one because, this is posed as Christmas rom-com, and not saying there isn't some rom and com in here, but definitely is more of like a description of how Cole is overcoming his past mistakes and learning how to better his friendships, relationships, and, familial, like family situation for the betterment of his holiday. So if you're going into this, just know you're going to get a lot of dose of like self-reflection and self-growth versus just, romance. Not saying there isn't any romantic moments in here. I just think that those are overshadowed by the other aspects of this. Also, this might be a spoiler, so jump like 10 seconds ahead, but Santa being a mob boss kind of guy has really made me, every time I hear Santa in a song anymore nowadays, think twice. So, we'll see. It's definitely not 5-star reads for me, because why are the chapters so long to read? But also, fun times. There's some quotable swoon-worthy lines, all I'm saying. I'll see y'all when I finish it, but I just finished The Nightmare Before Kissmas, so I have to say, even though this book focuses on a lot of other things besides the romance, at many points during the book, there was a third act breakup that made me want to just scream at Cole, the male main character, the only character whose, like, inner thoughts we get, and I'm like, what are you doing, sir? And then to top it off, he, like, realizes his mistakes, like, almost immediately, like, what the hell? Like, what the hell? Were there some swoon-worthy, sexy scenes? Yes. Were there some great points made about the commodification of Christmas and holidays and searching for joy for oneself? However, all of that was there. There were a lot of things that I'm like, okay, if you're going to go down this path, go down that path. But also, somehow, the chapters took a lot longer. For a book that's only like 350 pages, why did it feel like forever to get through a chapter? Like, it took 20 minutes to make it through what should be some fairly quick chapters, I feel like, for a romance. So I think I'm going to settle on a 3.75 stars for this, because there were a lot of great moments. Some of the lines in here, like, I would love that to be thought about and said about to me. Like, things were said and done beautiful. Consent talk, absolutely amazing. However, the frustration surrounding the character and just some of the decisions that made me want to, like, scream and squeeze him, did kind of, like, negate that. Plus the pacing. I will say I read the, like, preview of what was going to be book 2, not where I thought that was going, because you follow a whole little something side plot in here, and I'm like, what do you mean that's the love interest in the second book? But I guess we'll see how that goes out, because now I'm like, well, I want to know now, because you set up this whole thing and then you did a 180 on me, so we'll see. But now, with the little time I have before I have to go to sleep, I'm going to start Merry Inkmas. I don't know if I'll finish it in this video, but I'll give you my final thoughts tomorrow, because I'm going to wrap up the video Sunday night, which is tomorrow. And I'll be coming off of a very long work day. We love the Sunday before Christmas during retail. I already finished my Christmas shopping, but I know a lot of other people haven't. But now I get to go put this book on my shelf. Alright, so I am 2 chapters into Merry Inkmas by Talia Hibbert, and so far everything has been great. Her writing, as usual, is amazing. I'm already hooked, excited. The guy seems swoon-worthy. The girl is head over heels for him, and he is no different. I will say, when I first read this, I thought, oh, this is going to be like third-person limited. There's only going to be one view, but then it did switch to dual POV, so there are both viewpoints. They're just in third person, and the chapters aren't labeled who's who. But you know, you kind of figure that out by the writing so far. But like, with only 2 chapters of a novella so far, surprisingly, I don't have too much of the plot figured out, other than she got fired for helping a homeless man at her job, and he helped her help this man out, and now he's like, you got fired, so you want a job with me? He's kind of like the good Samaritan archetype who doesn't believe he's so good, and she's just like looking at him, according to him, like he like raised the moon, like he is the hero, the apple of her eye, and he's like, she won't take the job. And then of course she's gonna take the job, and the man is tatted up, and he owns a tattoo shop, hence the Merry Inkmas. We'll see where it goes from here. I know there are a couple trigger warnings on here, so I think there's some stuff that we're later to discuss in the story. But I have a late day at work, so I'm not sure how much reading I'll get done tonight. I don't know if I'll finish it for this video, because I'm going to end the filming for this video tonight, so I can edit it and have it uploaded by Christmas Eve. But I'll keep you updated the further I get in. But so far, she's definitely feeling a little better than the last book I read, but we're not too far in. But again, a little Christmas novella does tend to ring truer for me than just like a straight Christmas full-length novel, because I feel like everything Christmas tends to be a lot if you do a very drawn-out way of it, but if you do like a little bite-sized little morsel, like a quick little movie or a quick little like novella, then it's all very fun and tolerable and not super overwhelming. Good morning. It is December 23rd, and I am about to go work a 10.5-hour shift, and I've gone me off of 2 9-hour shifts, so I got a few more chapters into Merry Inkmas last night. And then I'm like, nah, my body is too tired and too sore to not go ahead and crash right here and right now. So, but I will say so far, this one definitely, I don't know if it's going to be a 5-star read, but I think it's definitely going to fall in the 4-star range. It is a whole, like, he definitely has a backstory that we haven't quite explored yet that's holding him back from having, you know, long-term romantic relationships, and that's why he's no longer pursuing her. But also, this may be a spoiler, but the niche microtrope of a man, like an artistic man, who just constantly draws his woman or his partner, whatever, love it. If you watched Maxton Hall this year, you're going to love that. So yeah, this is going to be the end of the holiday reading vlog, just because I want to get it up by tomorrow, Christmas Eve night, which I'm also working 9 hours tomorrow, so we'll see how that works out. But let me know what your favorite holiday read was this season. I will be reading more over the next week, because I've got a lot to make it through. So you'll see a lot more in the December reading wrap up. And thank y'all for following me along for Bookmas. She was a long ride, and I'll see y'all in the new year.